Uh-oh. The bad wolf is here.
لكن تعبانة اليوم.
ركز معي.
تعبانة ما
ارتحت.
ما حدا
ركز معي. انت كيف بدنا نشوف سيرك هون.
I know.
I know.
No, I know, you're right. انت بتحكي صحيح.
سؤال إذا أنت رايح على لبنان.
1905.
جوا عن كده.
أنت رايحة على لبنان.
No, that's what I mean. It's never gonna happen.
نندير فال؟
ما راح اروح على لبنان.
ما كانت بتحط لك إبرة بتنزل بدك تروح.
No يا وين بتحط لي الحبيب
بالفنجان.
وين بدي يعطيني يحطني بإيدي.
بيني وبينك بدك هيك اللي
So
لازم تروح.
like it's like سؤال. How about if somebody did it for you? ودي مو معي خبر حط لك إياها بالكباية.
بدي يحطوك بالحبس. حبس بيحطوك.
حبس
ايه.
طيب لايك ونزلت هناك وفيقوك على المطار. قول لك ها قلت لك انت هلا بلبنان.
وكيف راح ارجع ما بتحطوا لي شيء
لا زعما بضلي هناك. ساعتين ما بترجع.
هناك خليك هناك.
I can't. I gotta take care of my little boy across the street. You're not
ما في little boy.
Are you filming?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. You better send me a tape so I can swear at you. Yeah.
صار لها 65 سنة تشرب دخان خلط.
Yeah.
والله؟
I was 13.
انت اللي بكم علبة؟
And you know بالأيام
كان بايك بعده عايش؟
باي كان يداوي لي اياه.
14 سنة صار.
يحرقني حريق.
باي بلش يساوكر 5 سنين بالبلاد. ايه 5 سنين بالبلاد باي كان يساوكر.
والله.
ايه. قال يروح على السطح ويولع سيجارة.
بلبنان يعني؟
ايه.
بالأول كانوا يشربوا من هذا اللف.
هادي بالآخرية when صار heart attack. قالوا هاودي too strong. You know قويين. قالوا له جبت لف أحلى ما في كيماوي وكل شيء فيه. هاودي بيحطوا كيماوي بيحطوا everything in here. What do you want? Oh boy.
طيب يا خالتي بأمي وقت جيت بالهون بداش كان عمرك أنت؟
وين أمك إجت لهون وين باي مات.
أمي وقت جيت لهون.
إيه.
بداش كان عمرك أنت؟
32.
32 سنة؟ جود. كنتي متجوزة أو لا؟
لا.
كنتي كحشتي؟
إيه من زمان. Are you recording? I want to kill you. These are very
ايش يا اخوتي خبرينا شو في عندك شيء؟ هيك شيء خبريه جديده.
لا غش هلا ما فيني.
خبرينا على كف العربي.
ايه.
خبرينا على كف العربي.
ايه وين كنت ولد باي بيقول لي ايدي وما بقعد بيقول لي.
على الحمراء؟
يا على all that time حطيت الحمراء مرة. باي قال لي لا ما في مليح ما لازم.
ما لازم تحطي حمراء.
قال لي يا جماعة I can't remember what I said. I feel like I'm in Hollywood here. Okay, so anyway هايكي العربي كان بيصفوا كف هاي. ايش بدك يا عربي؟
عمدين خولي جورج توفى.
what was the year Polly died?
1990.
1990. بتكون 9 سنين.
اوكي. ما كان في شيء بالاول لا مريض. ما كان مريض بالاول ولا شيء.
كان عنده قلبه منيح you know.
Better be careful because I think Raquel might be coming next.
عمالكم شو المسك.
Raquel?
باي وامي اتجوزوا. وخلفوا ولد جنفيف.
مضبوط.
اول ولد.
مضبوط.
وامي كان بدها تجي امريكا تشوف خيا توني سليمان الاولى. امي اتجوزوا. وخلفوا ولد جنفيف.
مضبوط. مريض بالاول ولا شيء.
كان عنده قلبه ما منيح you know.
Better be careful because I think Raquel might be coming next.
عمالكم شو المسك.
Raquel?
باي وامي اتجوزوا. وخلفوا ولد جنفيف.
مضبوط.
اول ولد.
مضبوط.
وامي كان بدها تجي امريكا تشوف خيا توني سليمان الاولى، كان يعيطوا له الرب الفرح الداوي.
مظبوط. خيا باليمنى.
ايه
خيا اليمنى.
يس رايت. كان يعيطوا له نو رب العتابة.
رب العتابة.
ايه. و خلف جنفيف وكانت شي سنة 9 شهور.
عمره.
ايه.
اوكي.
وامي محكولي تجي تشوف خيا. وروحوا على البابور.
وبيك اجى معك؟
ايه بيي اجا كمان.
مع امك.
ايه. ووصلوا على البابور. امي كانت اسمها نزهة بخمل.
نزهة؟
ايه.
مظبوط نزهة.
ايه. اخذت الولد من ايد امي وقالت لها رح اخلي جينيفيف معي، هيك بترجعي على البلاد، ما بتضلي بامريكا، بترجعي. امي قالت ايه لا ايه دشت الولد مع امها. بس كان رح تجي امي 6 شهور to visit. I can't even speak to God. Jesus God. امي قالت رح ترجع.
رجع قولي تاني مرة.
تاني مرة؟
انه ولا ما امي قالت لك شو؟
ايه. امي قالت لها اجي ما بتشري الولد معي. جينيفيف.
ما راح بتجوا على لبنان.
ما بترجعي.
مظبوط.
امي قالت لها ارجع، قالت لي خلي لي الولد، امي خلت الولد مع 6. You know what I mean?
I know.
ايه. So راحوا على you're laughing Lily. راحوا على البوت.
على الباخرة يعني.
ايه. ما كانوا عكابر يقعدين فاو.
شحن طاحة بالديبو.
مع
مع الأغراض.
مع الكارو.
مع كل شيء.
مع كل شيء من down below. هلا نص الطريق امي سخنت هني وجايين امريكا، سخنت عزيمي. عملوا له عملية، حطوا له ايش بيقولوا؟
ما عرفت تحكي
ما في تلهد.
بالتنفس.
ايه.
هذا بيفخطوا هون.
ايه
وبيحطوا آلة هون. اوكي اي نو.
سو في تلهد.
مظبوط.
ونوصلوا اخذوا 30 ايام ونوصلوا على امريكا هني ببوسطن. اخذوا امي على المستشفى. كنت رح اقول السبيطار.
اوكي معلش. وقديش كان بعمرها ستي يا
كانت حوالي بقول 25 سنة. No, I'm small.
أقل؟
ايه قلب
يمكن 15 16 سنة أنا بقول.
19. She died in 1937, 38, and she was about 40.
هي أكبر أو جدي أكبر؟
No, جدها كان أكبر ب5 سنين. جدي بيي غلقان 1889 وأمي 1895.
أوكي.
اجوا cut it off. امي كانت حوالي 18 سنة
وجدي كان عمره ب 23 سنة يمكن.
23.
اوكي. قعدوا هون قديش؟
امي كانت بالمستشفى 6 شهور يخلوها تطلع.
عشان تصير منيحة.
ايه. خسرت شي 40 بوع.
ضعفت.
ضعفت كتير. كانت 80 باوند من السبيطار، من المستشفى. ما بيطلبوا السبيطار.
اوكي معلش نحكي شيء اوكي.
This is gonna be a
يلا.
ايه. ودوا امي على البيت من السبيطار، قالوا لها اجا بترجعي على البلاد على موي رح تموتي، ما رح تعيشي بحيث ما فيك ما فيك.
بالدقس يكون ناشف يعني ما يكون في رطوبة كتير.
عملت ايش رح اقول؟ بدي اقول
كان عندهم بيت بيشتروا بيت شيء يعني او
لا كانوا واقدين مع خالي مع خيا.
مع خالي مع
خيا توني سليمان.
سليمان اوكي.
ايه كانوا قاعدين مع بعضهم ببوسطن. ومن امي كان بدي تودي تجيب الولد
اوكي بتجيب
جينيفير على هالبلاد.
اوكي.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm having a tough time here. She...
ما في حدا يجيبه.
No, ما في حدا. لكن سنتين مرقوا.
ايه.
لكن دائما تودي لمصريات.
ما هم المصاري هذه المصاري.
وقف ما تنسيها، ما نسيتها. تودي مصاري لسليمان تدير بيرو على البنت.
اوكي.
And
بهالوقت قديش كان بأمي عمرها؟
بتكون هلا شي 4 سنين.
كانت عمرها 4 سنين؟
ايه.
اوه.
وهلا بيي لقى شغلة
ايه.
بالمطرح وين بيعملوا لاستيك.
اوه سكيف يعني.
ايه.
سكيفة.
لا لكن كان عنده شغلة منيحة.
ايه بتطلع مصاري كتير هيدي.
ما كتير، كان 10,000 بالجمعة.
اوه.
لكن مثل 500 ريال هلا بالجمعة.
اوكي.
ايه. كان so anyway هلا الحرب الاولاني
ايه
بلش بيوروب
بأوروبا.
ايه بأوروبا.
ايه باليوروب.
وصارت هنيكي شي سنتين قبل ما نحن دخلنا.
مظبوط.
when غرقوا how do you say ship?
سفن.
No, ship.
اوكي شيب مركب. اوكي.
when الجيرمن ضربوا المركب تبع امريكا نحن فتنا بالحرب. 2 years after.
No.
2 years after England went into the war in France, we joined in because our ship, the Lusitania, was bombed and killed many thousands of Americans. And once it affected the American people, then our country went into the war during World War I. Now, my sister by now was 4 at the beginning, now she's 6. Now the war broke out and it lasted for 4 years until 1917. We signed a peace treaty in 1918. Now, the years are going by, my sister is getting older, and my mother is getting very nervous that her daughter is not here. خيي جرجي الكبير بالعمر خلقون 1917. السنة كفت الحرب.
بإيش كان بخولي بجورج بوقتها كان عم يشتغل؟ كان بعده صغير؟ كان صغير؟
Yeah, شنو خلقون.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyway, now this is Arab and English. So 1918 كان في خوري رايح من البلاد هني
شو اسمه؟
سوريا. خوري حنا سابا.
What's his name in English?
John Saba.
Okay.
English.
Oh, excuse me. His name, the priest's name was John Saba, and he was going to Lebanon for a trip, and he was coming back within a year.
Mm-hmm.
So my father went to get a ticket for my sister to come back with him, because my mother's mother was not going to come to America, but she wanted to stay in the old country, Syria.
بلبنان not سوريا.
بالوقعة
اوه سوريا.
هلا بعد الحرب فرنسا اجت دارت على سوريا وقسموا ان عملوا لبنان وعملوا سوريا.
اوكي.
هاي هي. so how was I? So anyway, روح بيي تجيب الورق من الحكومة. Oh geez, I forgot.
Okay.
My father went to get the papers to bring my sister here from the government, from immigration, and they passed a law during that 1-year period from 1917 to 1918 stating an alien could not bring in an alien. Now I can't explain that in Arabic.
It's
okay. So now my father had to become a citizen before he could bring my sister Genevieve here.
Okay.
So it takes 5 years to get your first papers and 2 years to become a citizen after that.
How old was she at this time?
I would say she's now, oh God, my God, how old? This is 1918. She would have been probably not quite 12, no. I would say about 8. Yeah, 8 years old. Because it was going to take him 5 years to get his papers. She was 8. So, Kenneth Medicine, anyway, and my father went to night school to learn English. In those days, you had to read and write English to become a citizen. You have to go for 5 years, and then you applied for citizenship, and you graduated, then you became a full citizen. So now, by this time, 5 years and 8 years, she's about 12, 13 years old. I don't know the exact years, but I know she was a little more than 12. Anyway, the father, Saba, was going back to Lebanon for another trip. My father got her ticket. Everything was okay with the government. They were going to bring Genevieve here.
I know.
The priest got to Lebanon, went to Farhilda. They had married my sister off. She was 13 when she got married, and they can tell me 14, 15, no, 13. As a matter of fact, she was still a kid, you know what I'm saying. So anyway, they married her off. Now the big problem became my father could bring my sister Genevieve to America, but he could not bring her husband because there was no relation between her husband and me. She would have to come here and stay 5 years to become a citizen to send for her husband. She would not do that. This is what happened. So now I went to see all our relatives who were involved with the Mkhoyil Khoury by Jauza Genevieve.
That would be her husband?
Right. Yes, Michael Khoury. And I went to see Ilyas Khoury, Jiris Khoury, Umat Nasor. How they bikunu? Oh, those would be the brothers of Michael Khoury's father. You got it?
Okay.
Mkhoyil Khoury, who is my grandfather.
Right. But I went to see his father.
Who was here?
No. I went to see his father's brothers who were all here.
Okay.
All right? I asked them if they would take the papers out to bring Michael here with Genevieve. They said that they couldn't afford it, and they think we should send them the money and let them stay there. There was nothing they could do to, get them to allow.
But they would have been able to get my grandfather
over here. They would have signed, that's all.
Okay.
They wouldn't do it. This is my big battle with the Khoury family, because only for that one thing, my sister would have been here in this country with us, and you all would have been born here, all of you. So, الحق ما ببيت المخيل الحق ما ببيت الخوري ما عملوا مثل بدنا. Okay, so anyway, that was a story about why my sister Genevieve stayed in Lebanon and never came here. And where else do you want me to go?
So when was the first time she came here to the United States, right?
Yeah, but that was many years later, in 1954, when my niece Linda was born and my father died. I got in touch with my sister and she wanted to come, and I said to her I would send her a ticket if she could come. We went for 3 months with the government arguing here so that we could get her a visa to visit for 1 year. My sister came here in November, and it was very cold and miserable, and I met her at the airport, and she was such a tiny little thing. And she was cold, and she had nothing on but just a little jacket. And it was very cold here that winter. We had a lot of snow, and she was sitting there in the airport shivering, and she had these 2 cans of olive oil that she lugged all the way from Lebanon to bring to me the زيت زيتون, olive oil from Lebanon.
زيت زيتون.
ايه
وعجبت مع بعض.
ونتوفة حوايج, how him. And she stayed with me, when I picked her up at the airport. And this is why we have so much love in our family. When I picked her up at the airport, she was so cold, and we got back to the house in Dedham at my sister Helen's house, and my brother George was waiting there. When he saw how cold she was, he got a big pan of water and washed her feet for her to warm her up. Isn't this terrible? Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm not gonna get an Academy Award. You're terrible. Get me a
You are
Kleenex.
crying, قلتي لا.
Yeah, well, I'll be, Sabi. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to think of how we could have all been together
طيب
here.
بديش قعدت أمي هون يا خالتي؟
Immak Ijit, she came in the winter, and the first month she was here, Auntie Matilda ماتت بنت اخته لبايي. My father's sister died the first month my sister was here. And that was a funeral. My sister really loved my aunt and enjoyed her, but she had died, and we had a funeral. And all my poor sister did was cry, cry, cry. She thought of her father, who had just died. Now her aunt died. Now after the funeral, it snowed an awful lot that year. It was terrible. We couldn't go out. And she would sit in the window and look out the window and say to me, I miss Mintaha Alice. All right? And she wanted to, talk to them, but there was no way we could do it because there were no phones in Lebanon, in Farhouda. So we just wrote letters. And then a few weeks later, Jimmy Peters' father, Jiris Butras, died. And we had another funeral. And it seemed like we were doing nothing but going to funerals and sad things. My sister said to me, the minute I have the 1-year mass for my father, Desasini, Ilabayi, I'm going back to Farhelda. واحد ما بكفي إمره هني. Person doesn't really reach the fullness of their life here. They all die so young. She said, I'd rather go back to Beirut to be with my children in Farhelda.
إنه هو جدي كثير حابب إنه بيدور بلبنان يعني وبروح الدار. كثير حابب يروح. وستي شو؟
هلا
ما كنت حابة تروح؟
امي ميتي صارت 20 سنة.
وقت كان علي فكر جدي
امي ماتت صبية 38 years old. Really very young, really.
وقديش كان بعمرها ستي وقت ماتت؟
38.
ستي.
38 years old only?
Yeah. You know, the records were not very, very clear. They have her born in 1895. We have some papers that say 1898. So I really don't know. But it's in that area, between 38 and 40. 41 it could be. I don't know.
Now, how many kids did my grandmother and grandfather had in Lebanon when she came here?
Only the one, the little baby, Genevieve.
No, when she came here, she had many kids.
Everybody. You were all born.
Uh-huh.
The last one was Azor. He was born in 1941.
Okay.
And my sister came here in 1954. So Azor was, 13 years old when your mother came here.
Do you remember that, Kholi? When she came here?
Yeah.
Where
ايه وقت رجعت من عنده تخبرنا كيف قاعدين على اخوتي هونيك بالثلج وشتي كتير وانا تخبرنا كتير.
Sure, the weather was terrible. So when we had the year mass for my father, Cine, she left about 2 days later. She went back to Lebanon, even though she had a visa to stay here for 1 year. I told her, please stay. It'll be in 2 months, and it'll be beautiful. She says, no, I want to go back to Alice and Mataha Ulwedi. She missed all her children. So she went back to Lebanon. I took her to New York City to the airport. And we got on the plane. In those days, they let you go on the tarmac and on the plane with the people when they were visiting. But she wouldn't let me get off the plane. She was crying so much, I was crying, we were all on the peak. And she grabbed my coat, I'll never forget it. حدت لي الكبوت وتهدي هيك ما بدي يروح. لكن كحتوني off the plane, they kicked me off the plane and I had to get off. And that was the last I saw of my sister. Although I wrote to her all the time, and I used to get letters that Mona, George, would write to me for her. And I don't know where we go from here.
أنا كان وقتها يا خالتي عمري ب 11 سنة.
When Emmerich is
You were 11 years old?
No, you were more. You were 13.
No. 11 12 سنة هيك أنا.
My mother came here, my sister came here in 1954. 55. No, 54.
54.
Yeah, November.
Oh, 13 years.
13 years old. You were 13. أنت أصغر من أليس ومن طه؟
No, أنا أكبر من أليس ومنتهى.
Okay, so you're
There is Mentaha and then Alice. Alice is the youngest.
Yeah.
And that's when she said she misses Mentaha and Alice
That's why, because they were the baby.
They were
أنا
babies.
بالصبيان يا خالتي.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
بالصبيان الصغيرة.
Yeah, I see.